to take a picture with your GoPro camera. The only thing you have to do is to swipe to photo and then hit the button on top. And now we have a photo. If you want to see your photo, you scroll up and you see the photo that was just taken. Now you have few options. You see those 4 buttons here, they are shortcut for things you might want to modify. If we go inside that big button here, you see actually we are into that mode, photo. If I hit the pen and I go at the very bottom of that page, you can edit those shortcuts if you want to have shortcuts to something else. We will see some other things. So as we have just seen, when I press that button, I take 1 photo. This is that mode over here. You've got the burst mode. So if I go on here, it will take 30 photo as soon as I will press that button. So if I move it on that side and I take a photo, move my hand, you will see that it will take 30 photo. That will take some time to save. That's the cache of the camera that's emptying inside the SD card. So if I swipe up here to see the photo, you see it took 30 photo and it played just like that. All right, next one, if I click here, you've got the night mode, which is the last mode we have here. So if I take that one, well, it's a regular mode. It takes regular photo. It's just optimized for night photo. For example, when you press that button, there is by default a 3 seconds delay before it takes the photo. The reason why is that because when you take night photo, usually you put your camera somewhere it don't move. You press the button. When you press it, it might move a little bit. And when you do night photo, because they are most of the time long exposition photo, you can press, don't touch the camera, and when it take the photo, because you don't touch it, the camera don't move. That's just the reason why. So let's put it back to regular photo. We have some option inside of here. Some of those options are accessible from the shortcut over here, but let's move to here, press the pen. What do we got inside? Okay, lens. Lens is actually on linear. We can set it to wide. If I set it to wide, you have more stuff, but if you look at the pillar just right here, when you move to the side, it doesn't look normal. So personally, I like to stay on linear, but that's up to you. Output can be standard. So standard will be a JPEG. That's the most common file you can find. So that's also the default mode. That's a great one. Your photo will be compatible with everything. You will be able to easily share it. That's a great mode. If you want to edit your photo, I invite you to go over RAW. Your file will be a little more bigger, but they will store more information for you to play with if you want to really go playing with the colors and all of those things with your photo on the photo editing software. Then you've got HDR. HDR is a mode that take multiple photos and merge them together. Some of the photo are overexposed, some are underexposed. This is why on HDR photo you can clearly see the dark zone and the clear zone. If we move up to super photo, this one, well, it's the camera that will edit your photo for you. This is the one that I recommend if you never ever want to retouch your photo. That will give you a beautiful photo ready to share. But if you want to edit your photo, put it at your taste, don't touch it. Don't touch it. They will be harder to edit after that. You've got a schedule capture. Actually, it's off. I can set it to on. And let's say that at 23 o'clock and 50 minutes, it will take a photo. So when you set it just like that, you can exit everything, and you will have that message saying that you can turn off your GoPro to save battery. So if you power it off, it will turn on at 2350 to take the photo. That's what it does. So go back to the pen. If you want to cancel it, you go on it, you say off, and you go back. What do we have next? You got the timer. So if you want to have a delay, like we have seen into the night mode, you can set a 3 seconds delay or a 10 seconds delay. Then you've got the zoom. Never ever touch it. It's a numerical zoom. You can do this onto a photo editing software. If you do it on the camera, you just lose some space to move on the photo editing software. Always edit your photo on a photo editing software, not inside the camera, because when it's done in the camera, you cannot undo it. Shutter, actually it's on auto, but you can set it manually. So if you want to have a specific speed, you can have it by playing over here. EV comp, sometime when you take a picture, there's a big light source, everything might seem underexposed. You can make it overexposed. You can modify basically what the automatic mode do. Well, yeah, I will set it back to 0 if I can. Really, the tactile on this camera is terrible. 0, thank you. White balance, if you want to take manually your picture to a cooler or a hotter color, this is where you go. Then ISO, you've got the minimum ISO and the maximum ISO. Usually people might want to play with the maximum ISO. ISO is the quantity of electricity that pass into your sensor. The less electricity that pass inside the sensor, the less the sensor is sensitive to light. So the more electricity that pass into it, the shorter period of time the camera need to record the image. However, the more quantity of electricity that pass inside the sensor, the ISO, makes the image look more grainy. So if you say that at, well, over 1600 of ISO, I don't like the quality of my picture, they are too grainy, I want to set it to a maximum of 800, well, this is where you go to set that limit. And then you've got the sharpness. This is not something that I like to play with. I keep it on medium. Yes, if you look at the description, you might want to get more. Set the level of detail capture in your photo, but that's a post-production that the camera does. You can do it on a photo editing software. If the camera had too much detail, you cannot remove it on a photo editing software. So just keep it that way and your photo editing software can do that job for you. The color actually is on natural. You can go on flat if you want to even play more on your photo editing software. If you don't want to play with it, maybe you can go on vibrant. You will have beautiful color, maybe too much color. I keep it on natural. And then you've got the shortcuts that we have seen earlier. Then you can go back and take a photo, just like that. So this is how we take a photo with a GoPro camera.